Why projects, infrastructure projects in particular, take so long in our country to get completed?
You are from Jaunpur. How it was named?
What is the difference between mitigation and preparedness?
So what is new in New India and how it is different from India?
So can you tell me Ahilya Bai's contribution to RMSC?
May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
Sir, my name is Abhishek Singh. I come from Jaunpur district of the Uttar Pradesh. I have done my BTech in civil engineering from IIT Hyderabad. My hobbies are doing Vipassana meditation, positive self-dialogue, and tutoring and mental health counseling to the youngsters.
Abhishek, when did you pass out?
Sir, I graduated in 2020.
What have you been doing since then?
Sir,
Apart from preparing for the civil services?
Sir, I am only preparing for civil services from them.
You don't have any plan B?
Sir, plan B, I would like to do teaching in future.
Why it is your plan B? Why it is not plan A?
Sir, currently I am doing teaching as a hobby. Means I teach some students, like I taught for IIT JEE students for 3 months in the Riva. So there I gained some experience. But I wanted to contribute more by coming to the civil services, and also by coming to civil services I would gain more knowledge, and in fact by preparing for civil services I would be able to gain a lot more knowledge. And if I am not able to succeed in the civil services, then tomorrow I would go for the teaching, and both are, sir, good profession in itself.
God forbid if you don't get into the civil services at the end of the day, and you take up teaching as your profession, then suppose if a youngster comes to you seeking your advice on preparing for the civil services, what kind of advice will you give to an aspiring candidate for the civil services?
Sir, whenever a youngster comes to me, first thing I would say to him that prepare for civil services for the sake of knowledge, for the sake of understanding this field, for the sake of understanding such a vast syllabus. That itself is a very enjoyable process. Do not focus on whether I would get selected or not. I want to crack in first attempt, second attempt. That creates a lot of anxiety. So just enjoy the process.
Wonderful, wonderful. Why have you opted for anthropology when civil engineering is a subject in the UPSC?
Sir, in my earlier 2 mains, I opted as civil engineering as optional, but I could not score very well in the final exam, in the mains. So I changed my optional to anthropology.
Okay. Tell me, Abhishek, why projects, infrastructure projects in particular, take so long in our country to get completed?
Sir, there are several reasons for infrastructure projects to get delayed. Sir, first major problem is land acquisition is a challenge in our country. There is an act which was enacted in 2013, but its implementation is not that firm. And sir, the second reason can be that once a project starts, then what happens due to lack of funding? What happens? The project gets slowed down, and it takes many years to complete. So, sir, these two prime reasons that I can think right now.
Okay. What is the concept of Viksit Bharat?
Sir, Indian government has pitched that we want to become Viksit Bharat, developed country, by 2047, in which we want to increase our per capita income, we want to develop basic amenities to good level, and so that, and also increase the overall happiness of the people of the country.
So, according to you, what are 2 or 3 challenges that can hinder the progress to achieve Viksit Bharat by 2047?
Sir, recently economic survey was published which says that we need a consistent real GDP growth of at least 8%, which is currently not being seen. So if we are not able to have that level of the growth rate, that would be first challenge. The second challenge would be, which is also a persistent challenge, is that our labor force is not getting skilled for the future skills in emerging technologies. For example, artificial intelligence is there. So we are not able to provide that level of skilling. So that would be a big problem, and demographic dividend would not be reaped properly if we are not going to provide skills.
One final question: what the government has proposed in the recent union budget in the area of skill development?
Sir, in the area of skill development, government has said that a center of excellence would be set up for the excellence for the emerging technologies. For example, artificial intelligence, center of excellence for skilling would be developed. And sir, other than that, there are schemes like Pradhan Mantri internship scheme. So they will also help in development of these skills.
Thank you very much.
Abhishek, what is the difference between anthropology and sociology?
Sir, earlier there was a broad difference which said that anthropology used to study both ancient society as well as present society, while sociology used to study only the present modern society. But sir, these days the differences are converging, and sociology is also trying to study the primitive society and their nature.
What is the latest development in the field of anthropology?
So latest development, we can say that it has been done in the linguistic anthropology, as far as I can remember. Means there are many artificial intelligence related training models which are trying to revive the lost languages of the tribals using their existing material. Artificial intelligence is trying to create and trying to secure their language.
Abhishek, do you think that artificial intelligence will help anthropologists?
Sir, artificial intelligence has a multiple role, and it will definitely help anthropologists in various aspects. For example, sir, in anthropology we need to keep a lot of data. So to organize that data and to keep that data, artificial intelligence related tools would be very helpful, especially when we talk about data analytics and all those aspects.
What is ethnocentrism?
Sir, ethnocentrism refers that when we look at other society from our own nature, our own perspective. For example, sir, a European coming to India, he is looking at Indian society through his lens, through their belief system, through their values, and not understanding what is actually going on the ground. So this is an anthrocentric point of view of looking at things.
Okay. Abhishek, you are from Jaunpur.
Yes.
How it was named?
Sir, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, he named the Jaunpur from his brother's name, whose name was Jauna Khan. Like Muhammad bin Tughlaq was known as Jauna Khan. Yeah. So Firoz Shah Tughlaq, in his honor, to honor him, he named Jaunpur. He named it as a Jaunpur.
Okay. Now, since Allahabad is now renamed as Prayagraj, so do you think that Jaunpur should also be renamed?
Sir, to rename any place, we need to consider multiple factors, like what are the historical aspects of the new name that we are going to consider, what is the acceptability of that name in the general population, and what it can teach to the population living there. So sir, after doing a proper study, we can come to the conclusion.
Do you have any name in your mind for Jaunpur?
Sorry sir, I am not.
Okay, no problem. You have been quite active in NSS.
Yes sir.
What is the full form of NSS?
Sir, it is National Service Scheme.
National Service Scheme. And its motto?
Sir, its motto is, it's not me, but you.
Okay. And what's the difference between NSS and NCC?
Sir, NSS comes under the Ministry of Youth Affairs and NCC comes under Ministry of Defense. And the major prime difference is that, sir, NCC is used to create disciplined and patriotic citizens. On the other hand, NSS is for overall personality development. It is more of related to the engagement with the community and then understanding the needs and developing oneself.
Okay, last question from you. What is the difference between regarding theory of evolution, Darwinism theory of evolution, and synthetic theory of evolution?
Sir, Darwin's theory did not consider the genetic factors, while synthetic theory also considered genetic factors, and it is the most accepted theory at the present time, and it has refuted many claims made by the Darwin.
Any important scholar associated with synthetic theory?
Sir, I can recall one Hugo de Vries, who gave the theory of mutation.
Okay, thank you.
Abhishek, that I see that you have received some training in disaster management from Japan, right? Can you tell us that how disasters are managed in India?
Sir, in India, there is a dedicated Disaster Management Act 2005 in which various bodies like National Disaster Management Authority, State Disaster and district level authorities are created. Then we have funding mechanism, and then we have our force, National Disaster Response Force. So whenever a disaster happens, then before disaster, there is based on the early warning system, we have our preparation. We do our preparation, for example.
In a systematic way, can you please tell me that what is this disaster management cycle?
Sir, disaster management cycle primarily composed of the 4 components. Sir, first is the mitigation aspect, in which we prepare in such a way that first disaster do not happen.
Okay, next stage.
So second stage is the preparation before the disaster. For example, emergency supplies are secured. So then when disaster happens, after that we have a response, and then we have recovery. So these are the 4 stages.
What is the difference between mitigation and preparedness?
Sir, mitigation preparedness is done just before the disaster, means emergency supplies and the location where people should be evacuated,
right,
that is done. But in mitigation, it is a larger aspect of the disaster management where we work more holistically.
Okay. What is Aapda Mitra scheme?
Sorry sir, I'm not able to recall.
Okay, I'll give you a scenario. Consider a situation where a powerful earthquake of the magnitude 7.5 to 8 magnitude has hit a city like Delhi, and the infrastructure has collapsed. There are people trapped under debris. The communication systems are disrupted. The emergency response services are overwhelmed, and you are in charge of that entire institution which is responsible for providing disaster management services. How will you respond to this situation?
Sir, this can be responded in several ways. First, sir, I would ensure the communication network is erected properly, means because we want communication at the first level. Second, sir, I would like to assemble as many as ambulance and medical facilities so that people who are dying or are injured, so they can be taken care of. Third thing would be, sir, cleaning the road and all, it will come in the first aspect itself, like communication, insurance. Sir, third would be that cleaning the debris, and then
okay. It is often said that hazards are natural, but disasters are always man-made. Do you agree with this belief?
Yes, sir.
Can you please substantiate a little bit?
Yes, sir. Sir, hazard can be any event, for example, earthquake or volcano or cyclone. But sir, disaster refers to that in any area, if a hazard hits, how much damage it can cause. For example, a sparsely populated area will have less disaster, whereas densely populated area will have more disaster.
Okay, I got your point. Abhishek, if you look at this, the latest budget document, the Ministry of External Affairs has allocated a significant proportion of its budget outlay towards the foreign aid that it gives to its neighboring countries. Of late, we had a tough relationship with the Maldives. We have an ongoing diplomatic issue with the Bangladesh, but still India is continuing with its foreign aid. In fact, the aid which is given to Maldives has gone up, and the Bangladesh has maintained status quo. So this is the case India is following. On the other hand, we see countries like US which are withdrawing from their foreign aid support. So why do you think India is continuing?
Sir, India has its foreign policy in such a way, means we have neighborhood first policy, and we want to become Vishwa Guru and we want to provide leadership to the global south countries. So India is working in that direction. Although the situation in our neighborhood is challenging, for example Maldives and Bangladesh as you have mentioned, but sir, it is their problem. Our approach should be what our consistent policy is. We should not change our policy based on what they are doing very frequently until something very serious happens. So sir, I think it is in alignment with our neighborhood first policy and our democratic values.
Okay, thank you.
So, Abhishek, Jaunpur is situated at a bank of river. What river is that?
Sir, it is Gomti River.
Can you call it from where it has been originated and where it's going to merge with another river?
Sir, I am not able to recall where it has originated, but I think it merges in the Gazipur district. It merges with the Ganga. Sir, I am not able to recall.
Anyway, you must be hearing about New India on several occasions, that New India, New India, New India. So what is new in New India and how it is different from India?
Sir, New India we hear at many occasions. In my opinion, New India means a India which has lot more infrastructural development and happening at very fast pace. A India in which we are moving towards skilling our population. We are increasing our facilities of healthcare, education, and making it better. We are also participating in emerging technology domain and proactively doing all those things. So in my opinion, sir, that is the New India.
It's being well known that ethics and moral are important for creating morality upright society. What is difference between being ethics and moral? And what preferences will you be giving to the ethics or to the moral?
Yes, sir. Sir, morality is more of a individual's opinion, and ethics is more of a societal standard. Sir, I can say that suppose my morality is that I don't like non-veg, but sir, in a society, ethics may be that society may be liking the non-veg food. So here ethics and morality differs. And sir, when it comes to giving the preference, I believe, sir, I can practice my morality and also not antagonize the society, and so both can also go parallelly.
Okay. See, in the rights provided to you, there is a new right called right to die. So how do you see, if you do not have been provided with the right to give life, then how come you can follow the right to die? So what is the very difference between that?
Sir, right to die in India, we have passive euthanasia allowed by Supreme Court, in which a person's essential medication can be withdrawn, and on the mercy ground he can be let die. Sir, I think whenever an individual is raised in the society, a lot of resources are used. For example, educational and health resources are used to raise that person. So it is a loss for a society if any person, especially if he is healthy and is a functional in the society, is led to die. So sir, I think although it is important that we should have choices, we should have a fundamental right, we should have a choice to choose whether we want to live or whether we want to die, but sir, it would be a loss to the society.
One nation, one election. The JPC is trying hard to make a consensus over that. So how do you see that it should be applied, or the provisions with which we are going through in terms of the electoral processes, that is right?
Sir, there are both challenges and opportunities in the one nation, one election. As our honorable previous former president Ramnath Kovind panel, it also said that it would save around 1.5% of the GDP if we implement one nation, one election. And also, sir, it has several advantages, like if election happens every 5 years, then in between parties would focus mainly on the development, and they would not be always in the election mode. On the other hand, there is a challenge which many states are saying that it will take away the focus from the regional issues and shift the focus to the national issue. So sir, this is a challenge, but I think sir, currently the citizens are becoming very aware about their rights and their political environment, and they know that what is important for the state, what is important for states, and what is important at the national level. So in their voting behavior also, that is reflected. For example, it was seen in the Odisha when the assembly election and the national election was conducted at the same time, but the same population voted differently for the regional level and differently at the national level.
Hello. So since you've taken your training for disaster management, can you tell me what happened in Fukushima Daiichi 2011? What was this disaster all about?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it was a nuclear disaster that happened at the Fukushima nuclear plant. Ma'am, currently I am only able to recall this much.
Was it just a nuclear disaster, or there was more?
Ma'am, I think flooding was also related to that, but I only know this much.
Okay. You're into Vipassana, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is Vipassana? Can you tell me just in layman terms?
Ma'am, Vipassana is a Pali term. If we see that word carefully, V means seeing things, and V means special, and Passana means as they are, means we want to see things as they are. This is the literal meaning of the Vipassana. In the Vipassana, it is said that we should have a detached observation of the ourselves and as well as our surroundings. So it helps us to practice detachment in our daily life.
Since you've been into counseling as well, do you have a degree in counseling, or just you've taken this as a hobby?
Ma'am, I'm not an official trainer in the counseling, and I have done 10-day Vipassana meditation course, and based on that, whatever knowledge and skills I have gained, I try to talk to the people as my hobby, and whenever I'm not able to understand their concern, I connect them to government websites or government facilities. For example, Kiran helpline number is there. I tell them about these things, means I work more on the front of awareness generation, that it is not a stigma. One should come out of the stigma and talk to people. So I help in that front, ma'am.
Okay. So government recently announced their budget, and they have given a lot of tax benefits, right? But the government is also deficit on 1 lakh crore rupees because of the tax benefit. How do you think the government is going to manage that, and what implications do you think it will have on India's economy?
Ma'am, although 1 lakh crore rebate has been given, but it is being expected that it will act as a multiplier for the GDP growth in the future. Means it will generate more revenue, more consumption will happen. And sorry ma'am, I forgot the next other part of the question.
What implications do you think it will have on India's economy?
Ma'am, it will help in the growth of the GDP. It will increase the consumption level especially in the middle class, and it will create a multiplier effect.
Okay. Your mother is from Varanasi, right? So can you tell me Ahilya Bai's contribution to Varanasi? Tell me just a few examples. Ahilya Bai's contribution.
Ahilya Bai's contribution. Sorry ma'am, I am not able to recall.
Okay. So JPC has cleared the Waqf bill recently with 14 amendments. They have given 14 amendments. Can you tell me 1 or 2 amendments which has been promised?
Sorry ma'am, I did not follow the amendment part, but I know the overall aspect of the Waqf bill.
Okay, what is it?
Ma'am, through the Waqf bill amendment, government wants to change the composition of the Waqf board, in which it wants to introduce non-Muslim members also. It wants to increase the responsibilities of the district government, district level authorities, so that properties of the Waqf can be managed in a better way, in a democratic way.
Okay, my last question. You attended this conference on composite material, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is this? Can you explain? What is composite material?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, composite material is a combination of 2 or more materials which is used to enhance the properties of those materials. Means if it is only one material, then adding by another, it will increase. For example, ma'am, we have glass. If we add some fibers to it, then the fiber glass becomes more strength, and it can, for one example, ma'am, bulletproof cars. their glass is not simply glass, it is reinforced with the other fiber, so it is a composite material in one example.
Thank you. That's it.
You have been tutoring and mental health counseling to youngsters. In this connection, have you studied NCERT survey report or National Mental Health Survey report?
Sir, I have not read about the report in particular.
What is the National Mental Health Program?
Sir, National Mental Health Program is a program in which government is trying to bring a community-oriented, community-led dealing with various issues of mental health, in which it is seen that, for example, ground level worker like ASA workers, they are trained to go to the villages, go to the various homes and talk about the mental health and spirit awareness, and tell them to come out in front and talk about their problem. So
whom do you give counseling? To school-going children, to college-going children, to whom?
Sir, as I have cleared IIT exams, so many IIT aspirants, they usually come to me and talk about their challenges, whatever they are going through. So basically it is school-going students that...
So what are the conclusions you have drawn? What are the problems which the school-going children suffer from?
Sir, the major problem that I has realized through my interaction...
Just list out problems.
Sir, first problem is they do not know what they are doing. Suppose a child who lacks interest in the engineering, who lacks interest in mathematics, but parents are still forcing.
That is self-doubt. That is one problem.
Yes.
Apart from that?
Sir, apart from that, especially with youth, there is this thing going that many youth are in relationship from very early age. They want to, so majority of them are suffering from relationship issues, and they want to talk that how to deal with their partner.
Did you ever notice mood swing issues among school-going children?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what kind of mood swing have you noticed?
Sir, in mood swings, what happens that sometimes there is a very high level of joy, and then there is a sadness for multiple days, and then there is a disorder in the eating habits. Sometimes they are eating too much and they're not able to eat, especially in the girls.
So how do you counsel such type of people who suffer from a mood swing?
Sir, through my training of the Vipassana meditation, which has helped me also, I try to teach them the techniques that how to do meditation, and also teach them the technique of writing down their thoughts.
But a school-going children who studies in 6th, 7th, will he be able to take your advice to go for meditation at such a young age?
Yes, sir. It is definitely young age. But sir, I have seen that once they start doing meditation and writing down their thoughts clearly, that what problems they are going through, they are able to solve. And
okay, thank you very much. It was nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. May I come in, sir?
Come in. Sit down, Abhishek.
Thank you, sir.
Your interview is almost on the last day, 16th April.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which attempt is this?
Sir, this is my 4th attempt.
4th attempt. And first interview?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How was your experience with us?
Sir, it was very good experience.
Any scope for improvement?
Sir, I believe I can improve on the various fronts. First, sir, I tend to give longer answers. I can crisp them down. This is first thing. Sir, second thing is that sometimes my fluency is not good when I'm speaking, so I can work on my fluency aspect as well.
You're right. You have belief in yourself. You are a very good candidate, isn't it? You are a very good candidate. You are capable of giving a wonderful presentation of yourself in the personality test. We have no doubt about that. And in the process, likely to secure a good marks also. 2, 3, 4, few things you should be very clear about. One, you have rightly pointed out, long answers. Like, why do you give, for example, you said last question, the question which ma'am had asked you, give an example of this, your
composite material.
Composite material. Composite material is just, you have to define what is a composite material, isn't it? Then, because the moment you start giving example, 5 new examples will come to you. That you explain this now. You are civil engineering. So many composite materials are there in the area of civil engineering.
Yes.
Are you getting my point or not?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So why to open this? So answers need to be very crisp, as you have rightly
Yes.
understood. So and to the point, precise. Whatever has been asked, answer that only, and wait for a counter question. If I say that, okay, give me some examples of composite material, then go ahead with that. Okay. Number 2, this is your personality test, isn't it? What does it mean? That your knowledge has already been tested. Your personality is in focus now. Various dimensions of your personality, whether you are an honest person, whether an absolute man of absolute integrity or not, whether the honesty of purpose is there in all your statements or not, whether you are going into the area of guesswork or not, isn't it? So bottom line is that no guesses. If you don't know, doesn't matter. But without knowing, don't try to go beyond anything, isn't it? So that is very important. We asked you a few questions. We don't know what type of questions will be asked. You are basically a civil engineer and opted for anthropology and from Uttar Pradesh. 3 areas are important. So civil engineering, because you passed out in 20 only, so obviously question will come that 4 years, long years, what have you been doing? But when I confronted you with this question, then initially you got slightly unnerved what to say and all that. You came out with that. So while such type of question is asked, be very clear and bold about it. No, sir, I have plan B is already in place. My focus area is civil services because that is what is my dream is, my passion is, and nobody can snatch away your passion from you, isn't it? And I'm confident of getting a success, sir. But then if it doesn't happen, then plan B is already there, and this is the area of teaching where I am wanting to pursue as an alternative choice, so that board is very clear about your views and your ideas. It should not look like, oh, if it doesn't happen, then that is the only alternative. That should not be the case. Number 2, we have visited Japan also. Some questions related to Japanese culture, Japanese language, Japanese technology. These questions are likely to be discussed because you are a civil engineer, and Japanese style of civil engineering and our style of civil engineering is somewhat different.
Yes.
Because we are jack of all trades. We know everything about everything in India, our Indian engineers. There, if you go and talk to Japanese engineers, everybody has his own area and sphere of area clearly demarcated. And then total quality management. The very concept is there in the field of engineering also. So that may take you to the question of high-speed rail corridor, which is getting constructed in India, Ahmedabad to Mumbai, with the Japanese aid and all that. So what is that technology? Why India has gone for the Japanese technology? And high speed, what is the definition of high speed? And because you are a civil engineer, so related issues that how trains can run at a speed of 300 plus kilometers and all that. What is the formation? What kind of formation is being envisaged and all that? That is number 1. Number 2, about the bridges and all that. Many good bridges and mega bridges have been constructed in our country. So what is an arch bridge? What is a suspension bridge? What is a cable stayed bridge? So those 4-5 types of bridges, and what are the structural design part? As a civil engineer, you should be aware. Road construction under your government's ambitious program is underway, and every day we are constructing so many kilometers, 8, 17, 19 kilometers of road every day. So what are the innovative materials which are being used? When you spoke about the composite material,
Yes.
It struck me that such questions may be asked. So prepare 3-4 items which are in demand and which are very innovative in nature, isn't it? And then designing of expressway, designing of highways, rural roads, why it is called all-weather road and all that, what materials are used, bitumen, what is bitumen plus concept and all, that is important. Then that is another area related. Disaster management is a big area.
Yes, sir.
I think you have to update your information on disaster management. This was with respect to civil engineering or what?
Yes, sir. It was civil engineering.
Civil engineering only. So disaster management it has wide connotations. But then disaster management apart from civil engineering, the concept as a whole in the context of our country, and what is the system in place for the disaster management, that you must be aware. Starting from the central government down to the district level, what kind of hierarchy exists to deal with the disaster management issues. That some questions may be related to that. And civil engineering is, that is why question was asked on Fukushima, because in Japan only, and you came out with nuclear explosion only, nuclear problem. It was preceded by earthquake, tsunami. So we wanted a comprehensive reply from your side, isn't it?
Yes.
So these earthquake and tsunami, unfortunately, were missing from your answer.
Yes.
Then Gomati River, the confluence of Gomati River, where does it finally meet? You said Gazipur. Go and check whether it is Varanasi or Gazipur.
Okay, sir.
Just go back and check on this, so that even remotely you don't give a wrong answer.
Right.
Because if you are not sure, you could have said that to the best of my knowledge it is Gazipur. Then benefit of doubt can still be given to you. But the moment you said it is Gazipur, then go back and check whether your statement was correct or not. Okay. Otherwise, you are a very good candidate. Make sure that you maintain your integrity, your honesty of purpose in all your statement, no guesswork, focused, crisp answers, communication skill is good. Try to, as you have mentioned, try not to give longest answers unless it is a opinion-based answers where you are asked to speak for 1 minute or 2 minutes. Then it's a different issue. Otherwise, make it precise and succinct. That is what is important. All the best from our side. If you have any questions to ask, feel free to ask.
Sir, I'm struggling with this crisping down the answer. Before that also I gave one mock where I tend to give longer answers. Means I just want to know how can I make it crisp. Like I'm struggling with this.
You see, it's very difficult to give you a ready-made solution to this problem. This comes with the passage of time and with a lot of practice and all that. Only thing is that you have studied everything, isn't it? If a question is asked, try to just take few seconds, 5-7 seconds, to understand intent of the questions. Once you have understood the questions, try to collect your ideas. What are the major points in that? And then quickly you have to recollect and all that. Once you have having collected the thoughts, then you can start with major points to minor points. So this is 1, this is 2 and all that. Like one question which I asked you, there also you started going into details about the
last question.
Last question. So I said that list out.
Yes.
So intent of the question is listing out. One is mood swing, another is depression, so on and so forth. So that becomes you know everything, but you start explaining.
Right.
Don't explain.
Correct.
That is the only thing. Don't explain unless you are asked to explain. Just list out. If you have understood the question properly, then so intent of the question you must understand, and it comes with practice, and it's not a big deal. You can do it. Right. A lot of time is there. Just keep on practicing, and you can do it. Okay.
Sir, one more doubt. Sir, I have in my service preference, I have kept IPS much below, and I have kept IRS as a second preference. So, sir, I have prepared one answer for this, which is actual answer also. It is that, sir, my temperament, I believe personally that my temperament doesn't suit for services like Indian Police Service. By temperament, I means like dealing with criminals and violence aspect of the police administration. So, can I say this?
You can say that, you see, but it becomes too blatant a statement. As an IAS officer, do you think you don't have to deal with criminals?
Sir, but
and in a district, SP reports to the district magistrate only, isn't it? He takes orders from the district magistrate. Even if he has to shoot, the DM has to give an order. So now tell me, if you don't want to deal with crimes and criminals, so you can always say that mentally, sir, I have been asked to give my preference. I think mentally, probably I am not. I think I am mentally not suited to this kind of a job. But given the offer and given the proper training, probably I can mold myself.
Right, sir.
Instead of saying that crimes, criminals, and all that, then bureaucrats and some of the politicians are considered to be criminals. So that the criminal is too harsh a word. Don't use that.
Okay.
Word. And what about your hairstyle? Are you going to keep this hairstyle only?
No, sir. I will groom it.
Groom it. I think you will give a much smarter look if you groom it properly. चलो, all the best to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.